guys, welcome back to my channel. I am really excited to share this video with you guys today. This is something I've had on my filming list for a while and I just haven't gotten around to filming it before, but today we are doing a mini makeover. So in case you're not sure what this is all about, I'm just gonna give a quick explanation before we jump in. As you guys probably already know, I did used to work at Sephora. So as a Sephora employee, I was certified to do makeovers as well as mini makeovers. And I have done a video where I in-depth talked about what the difference between a mini makeover and a custom makeover is, and I will link that above in case you missed it, because I don't want to get into all of that information again. But after I did that video, and as I've been kind of mentioning on my channel that I used to work at Sephora, I get a ton of comments from people saying that they wish they lived nearby and could have come in while I was working there to have me do a mini makeover on them. So I was like, you know what, let's do it together here. So that's what we're doing today. This is going to be a series. This is the first one in the series, but basically if you came in to Sephora when I was working there and asked to get a mini makeover, a contour mini makeover, that is what you would get. That is what we're doing today, if that makes sense. So I have my favorite contour palette here from Kat Von D. This is the Shade and Light Powder Contour Palette. It's the old packaging, but it's the same thing. This is what I always grabbed whenever I had a client wanting a contour mini makeover. I always use this because it's very user-friendly, really easy to work with. So today I'm gonna show you on myself what I would do on a client when I worked at Sephora as far as a contour mini makeover. So if you guys want to see more, keep on watching. But real quick before we jump in, if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I do post new content 6 days a week, always beauty related. Well, most of the time beauty related here on my channel. So if you guys like what you see, make sure you subscribe while you're here. But let's go ahead and jump in. So depending on your skin tone, this contour palette works for most skin tones. Now there is a lot of product in here that you're not necessarily gonna use. So like for instance, on my skin tone, I can really use these first 4 products for my face. Now these last 2 products are too dark for my skin tone to be used as like a contour or bronzing powder, but I can use those like as an eyeshadow, so you can still utilize the palette. I do like the packaging of the new palette that she created where you can actually replace the pans, because that would happen a lot. A client would come in and be like, I have to buy the whole thing now because I used up all of this powder, but I don't want the rest of them again. I already have them. So I really like that she changed her packaging to make that possible. But like I mentioned, the reason I picked this to use today is because I used this every time I did a mini makeover on a client. I like this particular product for beginners especially because it blends out so easily. It's very, very foolproof, and like I said, it works for most skin tones. This is probably not going to work for the deepest skin tones or the fairest skin tones. If you're very fair, this powder is probably still too dark for you, and if you're a deeper complexion, this might still be not deep enough. So keep that in mind, but this does work for most skin tones. I really hope that Kat Von D will come out with contour palettes. I really feel like a lot of companies need to do this with their contour palettes. Universal just isn't universal, you know? So I really would like to see her come up with a palette that's meant for like fair to light, and then one for like more medium, and then, you know, one for more deeper skin tones. All right, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm actually gonna pull back my hair, because when you're contouring, you are really gonna be working on the outer edges of your face. As you can see, I have no blush, contour, or highlight on right now. I figured it was easiest to see what's happening without that done. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull my hair back so it doesn't get in the way. If you have a lot of like little baby hairs along your hairline, you might even want to put like a headband on, because all those baby hairs are gonna try to get in the way when we're contouring. All right, so I am gonna be using this brush today. This is from Real Techniques. This is the cheek brush. Really any brush that has this pinched shape to it is what you're looking for. So if it has a pinched ferrule, it's going to give you that pinched shape. Now, if you don't have a brush like this, but you have like a more rounded powder brush like this, you could still use this, but you're gonna have to pinch it yourself when you're applying it, and I just find it a little bit harder to use. But if you don't have the money to invest in another brush and you don't have one like this already, you can definitely utilize a brush like this, but you're gonna want to pinch it when you apply it. All right, but for the purposes of this video today, I'm gonna be using this brush as I mentioned. Now, when you're coming in for a mini makeover, the first thing that I would do is sit you down at the beauty studio, talk to you about your preferences, whether you're looking for a cream contour or a powder contour. If you already had a particular palette in mind that you owned or were planning to purchase, we would probably work with that product. And then the way the mini makeovers work is I would do one side of the face and hand you the brush for you to do the other. But since I'm working on my own face today, I'm just gonna do both sides. So after I sat you down at the beauty studio, we had our product and everything, and I explained what kind of brush to look for the contouring portion. I would then give you guys the basics of the contour that we learned when we took all of our courses at Sephora. So they teach us to talk about the 3 and the E. So basically, if you imagine drawing a 3 on your face, I hope I'm doing this right in the viewfinder. I'm trying to figure out if I'm doing it right. So yeah, it'd be like drawing a 3 and then an E on your face. So you're going to want to follow your hairline pretty closely along your forehead, and then you come down underneath your cheekbone to carve out your cheekbone, and then you're coming down underneath your jawline to carve out your jawline. So that's the basic 3, and then on the opposite side you're making an E. A couple things that I always tell clients that make it a little bit easier: when you're doing your jawline, you're gonna follow your natural jawline. So when you're following your jawline exactly, you wanna make sure that you're not coming up too high or going down too low. So if you need to kind of, like if you have extra skin right here, like I have a little extra, sometimes it helps to kind of feel it, like, oh, there is my jawbone. So you're gonna wanna come right underneath that. And the reason that you're doing that is you're creating shadow. When you're contouring, you're creating shadow to make your features that you want downplayed, and highlighting is the opposite. You want the light to hit or to draw attention to the highlighting, the areas that you're highlighting on your face. So with the contouring, we're trying to make our jawline look a little bit more pronounced and get rid of maybe a double chin or anything like that that we feel like we have. So we're gonna go right here, right along where I have this excess skin. I'm just gonna be kind of hiding that with the powder. Right now my brush is clean because I just want to kind of show you the concept. Now, a cheat on the cheekbone: if you feel like you can't really tell where your cheekbone is, a couple things. You always want to cheat up, never cheat down, because we want to create a lifted, youthful cheekbone. So you don't want to go too low. If you go too low, it's going to make your face look kind of saggy, so you want to lift that cheekbone. So I always say you're going to be following a line from the top of your ear. So if your ear starts up here, that's where you want your line to start. Now you're following an invisible line that connects the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth, but you don't want your contour to come all the way down here, because then you'll have 2 big brown lines on the side of your face, and you don't want to do that. So what I usually do is somewhere right in the middle of my cheek, depending on the size of your face and the structure of your face, that you can kind of cater it to fit your face. But what I always like to do is drop your brush when you first dip it in the powder. Let's pretend this now has powder on it. You want to always drop your brush here back by your hairline, so that the darkest part of your contour is back by your hairline, and then as you bring the brush down towards your cheek, it gets lighter and lighter and kind of fades downwards, and then hopefully by the time you get about here, no more contour. So if that makes sense. So that is where you're going to want to follow here. And then as far as your forehead, depending on the size of your forehead, I have a fairly large forehead, so I do like to contour my forehead. But a lot of people with a smaller or normal to small size forehead may not want to do this, but I always like to follow my hairline on my forehead, and you can come down depending again on the size of your forehead and how much you want to make it look smaller or downplay. The size of your forehead would determine how much powder you apply. But again, you want the color to be concentrated closest to the top of your head, so closest to your hairline, and then to fade down as you come down. And then you also can contour your temple, which I always do, because again, I have a fairly large forehead, so I do like to contour it and make it look a little smaller. So if you have a larger forehead like I do and you want to make it look a little smaller, I do recommend contouring pretty much like this area right here, and then your temple as well, and that will make it look a little bit smaller. Okay, so now that we have the basics down, I'm actually going to show you how I would do it. Now for my skin tone in this palette, I like using this shade here that has a more cool undertone for contouring with. So I am going to dip my brush into this powder and then I'm going to tap off the excess. Now you can make your contour as sharp or as faded as you like. I like to go somewhere right in the middle. I like to have a contour, but I don't like it to be super sharp. I used to have a very sharp contour, but right now I like a little bit more of a subtle contour. So I'm gonna go ahead and even though, you know, the 3 and the E, they do recommend starting on the forehead, I always like to start on my jawline. You can really start wherever you want, but I always usually start on my jawline. So I like to start right underneath my ear along my jawline, and then I'm gonna just kind of draw this line right here. So as you can see, we're just kind of carving out our jawline. And then, can you guys see the difference? And then what you do with the jawline contour, always drag down. So we're creating a shadow right here on our jawline. So we're gonna drag that powder down our neck. And you can build it up where you feel like you might need it, and then just kind of blend it downwards. All right, so I'm just gonna do one half of the face first so you can see the difference in a contoured side compared to a non-contoured side. All right, so I'm doing the same thing, dipping my brush, tapping the excess. And then for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and start on my jawline. Sorry, you can see some of my psoriasis today, please excuse that. So for this one, what I'm gonna do is, again, start back towards my hairline, and then I'm just going to lay the powder down, just like that. And then once you get all the powder off of your brush, then you start blending. And for this one, as you can see, I didn't come too far down, so now I'm gonna blend up and out. So I'm gonna start by blending it kind of upward and then down towards my mouth as well. And I just like it to look really soft and diffused, but you can still see that there's definitely a contour happening there. Again, you want your cheek to be lifted, so we always blend upwards for this one, and you want your jawline to disappear, so you blend down. And you can build up the powder. If you feel like you blended too much, you can always build it back. You just kind of play with it until you get the look that you want. All right, and now for the forehead, again, dip my brush, tap off the excess. For this, I'm gonna start right in the center of my head since I'm just doing half of my face, but normally I would just kind of go across the whole thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and start at the top of my hairline, and I like to make little circular motions, and this is where all your little baby hairs are gonna start popping up. Little circular motions, and then I just follow my hairline and then drag it down the temple. But I want most of the color to be kind of near the top. If you need more powder, you just dip again, tap off those excess, and go ahead and just keep circular motions blending it down. So as you can see, it starts to make your forehead just look a little bit smaller. All right, and that is basically what I would do for contouring. So I'm gonna get a little closer now so you guys can see the difference. So this is the side that has the contour. And then this is the side that is not contoured. And you can see, it just looks like there is a little less definition in my face on this side, whereas this side, I don't know, it just looks a little bit more defined. So that is what the magic of contouring can do, and that's the kind of, that's what I would do in a mini makeover. Now, a couple more things that I always like to show clients with this palette as far as like the contouring and highlighting. So if you are doing your contour like on your jawline or on your, really anywhere on your face, and you're like, dang it, I got a little lower than I wanted to, let's say right here, you can take one of these highlighting powders to clean it up and use it almost like a magic eraser. On my skin tone, I think I'm gonna just mix these two because I have more of a neutral undertone. This one's very cool, this one's very warm, so I kind of mix those two. Tap off my excess, and then you can use this right underneath your contour to sharpen it up, and it works like a magic eraser. Now, if you want a really strong contour, you could do that every time just to give it like a sharp, harsh line. Like I said, I haven't been doing that as often, but you could definitely do that. Now these powders, you can definitely highlight with these as well if you don't like to have a shimmery highlight. I personally prefer a shimmery highlight, so I wouldn't use these powders for highlighting, but I do like them for cleaning up. I also do sometimes use them for setting or like setting my under eye. This yellow one works really good for brightening up underneath the eye as well. So you can really use these powders in lots of different ways, but I always like the magic eraser thing. I think it works really good for that, especially when you're just beginning. If you feel like, oh my gosh, my contour is like half of my face, just take it on a little detail brush like this and clean it up, and it will literally erase whatever you feel like you got too much of. All right, and then really quick, I'm going to go ahead and apply some blush and highlight so I can finish off this side and then you guys can see the difference. For blush today, I'm gonna go ahead and apply this number 7 blush in Apricot Blossom just because it's what I have handy. And I'm just gonna tap off the excess here. And I just like to softly blend this into my contour. I like to go super light-handed with it. I mostly apply it to the apple of my cheek right here. So like if you make this face, it's the part that's like the chunky part right here. So go ahead and apply it like that, and then I just like to blend it into my contour, and it just makes the contour look a little less obvious. So that is how I do that. And then for highlight, like I mentioned, I like to use more of a shimmery highlight. Let me see what I have handy here. I had to dig for one. Okay, so I have this MAC eyeshadow that I actually like to use as a highlighter, and I'm just gonna use this little featherweight brush from Sephora collection. And then what I like to do is I like to come right above my eyebrow, the tail of my eyebrow, and then down my cheekbone. Most recently, I've been avoiding the apple of my cheek with a highlight just because now that I'm getting a little older, I feel like it is highlighting some texture there and making me look a little bit more aged. So I try to keep my highlight a little bit further back, but then I just go right at the top of my cheekbone, just like that, and it just adds a youthful glow to the skin. All right, you guys, so that is the difference from one side to the other. I feel like it just frames your face, especially if you're wearing a full coverage foundation. It tends to take all the dimension out of your face and make you look really flat. So doing a little bit of contouring or bronzing really brings the life back into your face. And that is it for the mini makeover. And again, like I said, the client would do the other side, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I know you're enjoying it, and I would definitely continue this series if you guys enjoyed watching this. If you have questions or comments, leave them below. I'd be happy to answer those. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.